言うことは一つだけ。絶対負けねえ。
行きます、ヒューガさん。
来い、たけし。
決めさせないぜ。どうだ。
How's it going, everyone? It's Nothing XS here with a new player analysis. We're going to be covering the new Burn Young Samurai Hearts, which is the new World Youth banner. We've got 3 new players and a new hidden ability player. It will be Takeshi Sawada, Super Support, Hanji Urabe, Fiery Gutsman, and there's longer. His title is longer than that, but I don't care. Taro Misaki, Kind Genius, and Jun Misugi, Diamond Ace. The old Drive Past Misugi got a hidden ability evolution. So let's talk about all 4 of these characters, and we're going to be starting with Takeshi. First up, we've got Takeshi Sawada, Superb Support. I'm kind of happy that K-Lab decided to release more cool versions of characters that are a bit underrepresented. So I'm actually happy to see World Youth Takeshi running around now. The only part that kind of sucks is that he's red. Now, don't get me wrong, it's cool that there's a red version of Takeshi that doesn't need you to teleport back to 2017 to obtain him. And he's much better than that version of Takeshi. He boasts the second best raw passing in the game, which is 11.3k. He has all the normal Takeshi problems, which are bad skill momentums, and he over-relies needing Hyuga in the game. He doesn't have like a passive that requires Hyuga, but because Touhou's Golden Duo requires a Hyuga, and Red Japan doesn't need a Hyuga, but this Takeshi would be very nice, and so to be able to use 1-2, he needs Hyuga. But he does have a low baller skill, which makes him a good setup man for Skylab Twin Shot, so he has a ton of value in that aspect. And the only reason that I don't like that he's red is because I feel like he should have been the green character, and then the Misaki could have been red or maybe blue. I don't know. Anyways, Pro is 11k club passer in Japan and red with 9.5k dribble and 8.5k pass cut. Comes with a good 1-2 and Hyuga, easily maxed a tackle and a dribble. He has a great team skill for World Youth Japan teams. He has a low baller that helps set up Tachibanas with their strongest skill. Cons, he needs to find the pass elsewhere, like the S or A solid pass. He needs to dupe Dream Collection Takeshi for his S pass cut and S pass. He's not as useful as Dream Collection Takeshi outside of all World Youth teams or red teams. He has 2 separate limit breaks. The balanced one would be 16-16-18 dribble tackle speed and 17-17-16 pass intercept technique. But if you wanted to do limit break, pass, and cut, I would do pass intercept technique 25 and speed 25. He is an attacking midfielder. His roles are enabler and utility. I think he's an A. I wouldn't go for broke for him, but I think he's pretty solid. His stats are, as you can see, he's 914 stamina. Not crazy, not bad. It's pretty average. As you can see, his dribble and pass are quite high, which means he has 9.5k dribble, 11.3k pass. 11.3k pass makes him, I think, the second best passer in the game, raw, or third. He's up there, but he's certainly the best raw red passer in the game, I believe. And also, his 7.4k tackle is not much, but 8.5k intercept is actually pretty decent. For his skill build, S Touhou's Golden Duo is what he comes with. It's quite nice. It is a 465 cap, a 1-2 with Hyuga. He has S skill dribble that you can teach him from a league version. S solid pass that you have to teach him from the Dream Collection version. S swift interception, which you'll also have to teach him from the Dream Collection version, but that's also maxable from league copies. And a strong tackle. Normally having a bunch of S skills will feel pretty bad, but since solid pass and skill dribble and swift interception are pretty inexpensive, you might as well do them if you can. Also, the only ones that are hard to level up are solid pass and Touhou's Golden Duo. So skill dribble and solid interception are pretty nice to just keep buying from the store. So level them up there if you would like. Next up, we have Hanji Urabe, the Fiery Gutsman. He's the new owner of player with a subtitle that's way too long. He is a character primarily suited to second half defense. That's because he has the super sub passive, just like that old middle school Misugi. His stats are mostly okay in balance, if a little underwhelming, but become quite good if used primarily as a substitute. Unlike Super Sub Misugi, however, he doesn't also bring a whole lot of other stuff to the table. He's just a solid substitute defender primarily for Blue Japan teams. The middle school Misugi, if you remember, is a hidden ability character with a bunch of different hidden abilities. Misugi is quite good in that regard. Urabe is not. If there was a reasonably easy way to get S forcible interception and level it up a lot, then I think he would actually be a hell of a lot better. He'd reasonably be one of the few triple threat defenders in the game, especially in the second half, even if he's just starting from then on, right? Unfortunately, A forcible interception sucks, and so does the S one, really, to be honest, but it'd just be an improvement. So for pros, he has 9.4k block, 8.9k tackle, and those turn into 11.7 and 11.k respectively. he's used as a sub. Also, he has 10.5k intercept that will help to not get himself beat by white passes. His second half 9.1k pass does help if you teach him the Be Strong pass to get rid of balls. And also, he comes with 3 defensive skills. He has a great team skill for World Youth Japan teams. As for cons, most skills he learns are expensive and he has low stamina. His block momentum isn't very good, and neither is his interceptions momentum. Although the A tackle is actually quite decent. For his limit break, I would do tackle, speed, block, power 25. And he is a defensive midfielder and a defender. His role is defense first half. If you start him the whole game, he's like an A maybe. But if you play him the whole game, he'd actually be more like an S. Would I go for broke for him? Maybe. It kind of depends on what you need, frankly. So for his first half stats, he's 905, dribble 7.5, shot 6.4, pass 7.2, 8.9 tackle, 9.4 block, 8.4 intercept. As you can see, nothing very remarkable, but if you use him as a sub and he comes into the second half, then his dribble and it turns into 9.4, pass 9.1, tackle at 11.1, block 11.7, intercept 10.5. Also, his clear becomes quite nice at 11.2. Those are all actually quite usable. They're actually quite nice. So he does become quite good in the second half if you use him as a second half substitute. For his skill build, he comes with S hot-blooded block, which is a cool looking block that only has 420 momentum, which is kind of sad, but whatever. He gets a forcible interception is what he comes with, so that's all you can give him. A tenacious sliding tackle, tenacious sliding tackle. Oh my god. Really, I wouldn't give him the S version because it's super expensive. I'll explain in a sec. B strong pass, you can get it, and A strong tackle as a backup, if only because it's easy to give it to him. Especially if you end up teaching him the S sliding tackle, you do want the A strong tackle. The main reason you don't give him S tenacious sliding tackle is because the A1 is easier to get to A50 or A80, and because even though his S tackle's total check would be higher than his S block's total check, the S tackle costs 470 stamina to use, which means you could use 1 tackle per match unless you use full power. If you had higher stamina, it'd be less of a problem, but it is what it is. That said, since you're only using it for one half, maybe having the S tenacious sliding tackle is a better play overall, but since it's easier to max the A tenacious sliding tackle, it's up to you. If you do want to give him the S1, then maybe you give him A strong tackle, but if you end up giving him like just the if you end up keeping just the A1, in that case, maybe you want to give him like A sliding block if you have a spare one. It's possible. It is what it is. But anyways, he's pretty good. If I had him, I think I would put him on the bench on my blue team. He would be pretty good in a bench for a blue all Japan team. He would also be good in a full world youth team, obviously because of his passive, so it is what it is. Next up we have Tara Misaki, Kind Genius. The problem with releasing any kind of Green Misaki is that he invariably has to compete with Japan's Golden Duo. And that's a tough sell because Japan's Golden Duo is still the best overall passer in the game. He has a ton of versatility to any team that fields Tsubasa as well. When I say the best passer in the game, I do mean that like basically when you pair him with Tsubasa, he has enough because of how good because of how good Golden Duo the skill is. It's like 475 cap. He has like the best 1-2 in the game, if I do not wrong recall. And it's very, 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 very hard to beat that. Now, obviously, there are some characters who come close. Red Pierre does get close enough. Guti, if you do give him the 1-2, or rather the combination with all the other characters, quite close. It just really depends. Anyway, that said, this player is pretty interesting. He's ostensibly a better shooter than Dreamfest Misaki, so long as you only play him in the second half. He's primarily held back by his pathetically low stamina, but he is a second half beast when big stats when he's subbed in. The problem will always come down to Misaki having too many good units, and this one being a little too limited to consider running as a primary option. For pros, 11.1k dribble, 10.9k pass, and 12.9k shot, as well as 11.6k intercept and 10k tackle if played in the second half. He's ostensibly the best shooting Misaki in the game from the second half on. He has great team skill for World Youth Japan teams. His S dribble is quite strong, and he comes with a good A pass and pass cut. Cons, awful stamina, and you need to teach him like a really, really good shot to really take advantage of how good he is at shooting. Like, it has to be like Flash Raiju, basically. He is an attacking midfielder. His roles are striker, enabler, and utility. Like Urabe, he is A in some cases and S in others. Would I go for broke for him? I only put maybe because I feel like if you needed a green shooter and you weren't for some reason using 0.01 Misaki or Golden Duo Misaki as your Misaki, or even 2017 Misaki, then I could see why you might want to run him. But there's 3 other Misakis in green that you would rather play first. Because historically, the quote-unquote Misaki slot on your team like the type of player that Misaki occupies on a team is a support slot. He is not generally the scorer. Only in red is he realistically the scorer, and it's not the Dreamfest one. The Dreamfest one is like the second best passer in the game or something in red. So you wouldn't use that one to score, despite a lot of people erroneously thinking that that's the case. It's really just the volley Misaki that you would be using to score. So it is what it is. Anyways, but if you're going to limit break him, if he's going to be a shooter, 25 shot power, 25 speed, 22-3 pass technique. Now if you want to do utility, 16, 16, 18 dribble tackle speed, 17, 17, 16 pass intercept technique. I don't know why you would do this. Maybe you just really need to support Misaki and you're okay only playing Misaki for 1/2. I don't know. But it's there in case you actually are thinking of playing him like that. We have his in-match regular stats and his sub-stats. For his in-match stats normally, it's 815 stamina, really bad. 8.2k dribble, 9.5k shot, 8k pass. Everything else kind of mediocre, 8.6k intercept. Really nothing to write home about. However, if you sub him in, he really gets a lot stronger. It's 11k dribble, 12.8k shot, really 12.9k if you round it up properly. Almost 11k pass, 10k tackle, 9.9k block, whatever, 11.6k intercept. Just very strong. He's just overwhelmingly strong if you do sub him in. For his striker skill build, obviously you keep the artistic dribble, green cup pass, magnificent interception EX, and then you give him flash Raiju shot and S golden duo. If you limit break him on shot, you're going to want to sacrifice somewhere in terms of utility, and that's probably going to be by not giving him a tackle and instead giving him a shot. You could sacrifice on the pass instead, but because you are going to give him a golden duo. Anyways, you're going to want to play him with Hyuga and Tsubasa on the field somewhere anyway as it is, so make sure you use him to shoot primarily when you're in full power mode to take full advantage of this power, especially since he has almost no stamina. If you did want to go utility, if you decide, because even though they're better Misakis to do that with, don't take a shot, instead teach him elegant tackle. Play him like you play any utility enabler Misaki, which is to say you give him a leveled up best pass instead and focus on passing, dribbling, and hooking other players up with the ball. Finally, we've got probably the best player to come from the update. It will be Jun Misugi, the Diamond Ace. He's a defensive midfielder. Remember this absolute trash heap of a player? They went and made him really good because of course they did. Why not? What used to be a more or less mediocre single position version of Misugi who could just pass is now an extremely competent passer who sometimes applies 2 skill blocks instead of 1, makes all of your Japanese players stronger by 2%, has a 60% auto pass cup to finish up the package, making him really obnoxious to deal with at all steps of the game. To make matters even worse, he makes enemy skills 20% more expensive to use, which will really put a damper on any player unlucky enough to match up with him. Frankly, this guy's probably better than the Dreamfest version now. The Dreamfest version suffers from weak momentum on his blocking. He was never quite that bad, but the weaker block skill kind of held him back. And tenacity, while nice, wasn't really a great passive considering what we wound up with now. So if you were to give him, if you were to play this Misugi instead, like everyone would understand. Pros, he's a great passer and pass cutter who's also competent at tackling and dribbling. He has 60% auto pass cut, which is great. He has 2 special skill blocks at 50 and 40% respectively, which is weird, but hey, listen, I'm not K-Lab, I don't make the designs. For cons, he doesn't have access to an S pass cut, and so you have to teach him like a Skylab interception to really get the most out of your auto pass cut, which sucks because Skylab interception is only on like one Misugi and you can't get that guy anymore. It's the red one from 2017. Now, if you can get him, give it to him, but if not, then whatever. His stamina is okay, it's better than Dreamfest, but not what you expect out of a hidden ability player. For his limit break, just do pass intercept technique and speed 25. A lot of people will be wondering, well, why don't you spread out dribble tackle with speed a little bit more? That's because auto pass cutters benefit from having maxed out speed. It makes them very good at getting into position wherever you want. And frankly, you don't really need that much of a boost to like your dribble. Just 500 points will be fine. 500 points to your tackle will also be fine. Primarily, you're going to try to bully people out of the ball with Magnificent Interception or Skylab Interception if you have it. Hopefully, you're playing him on a team with Jito, so you can really get the most out of that Skylab Interception. Anyways, for his hidden abilities, he got My Team All Stats plus 2%. In Rainbow Japan, that's crazy powerful, but in Green Japan teams, especially with Stormy Hyuga coming, it's actually toxic. Special Skill Block, SS, actually has 2 of these. One of them is 50% and the other one's 40%. That means that you average about 1 skill block on an opponent in almost every matchup. But more often than not, you won't see, like, you'll see 1 at least, more than 50% of the time. and a little bit more often than 2 you'll see 0, but sometimes you'll see 2 skill blocks, and that's wild. Being able to disable 2 is insane as it is. It's just gonna, imagine if you run into someone and they normally have like a dribble on a 1-2 to be able to do something to your goalie from midfield or to get closer, and you end up blocking both of those things. You're basically just going to take the ball for free. Blocking one thing is already crazy strong. Blocking 2 of them is just nuts. Rain puddle resistance is cool, I guess. Good in PvE, especially for the hidden ability matches where the ball goes anywhere. Those are like actively the worst. Like the challenge road, the one where you pass the ball and the ball goes wherever it wants. That one sucks. So I guess okay, it's still a trashy hidden ability. It's just there for fun. It's not there to like actively impact the game. It's just there as a PvE concession. And finally, auto intercept enhance. 60% auto intercept is crazy good. It would be SS even at 50%, honestly. The only reason, I mean, if he had a top tier pass cut, he'd be SS. If he had a good pass cut with high momentum, he would just be double S. Instead, he's a very powerful S because an A pass cut is not that hard to level up. Just think about how good auto intercept enhance is as a hidden ability, that if he had a better pass cut, he would be higher tier. Like, if they created a version of Misugi with S Swift Interception, the game would almost be over. Like, he's that crazy good. It would be almost worth running 45% Green Japan. Like, he actually makes 45% Green Japan weirdly viable, especially now that Stormy Hyuga is coming. There's a lot of potential for damage to be dealt because of this character suddenly appearing. Because the new Nita, like, he's not crazy good, but he is a good alternative striker, especially for the Dream Cup. And then Stormy Resurrection Hyuga is wild, and then Masao and Kazuo will also be wild. And there's like a potential 3-1-3-3 or 3-2-3-2 build in the future that would feature a lot of these players that would just make Green Japan actually finally a viable, pickable strategy. So look forward to that, I guess. Anyways, for his stats, 967 stamina. As you can see, his in-match stats, he ends up having 8.4k dribble, 8.1k shot. You really don't care about the shot. What we care about is the 10.8k pass, which is nice, and 9.4k intercept. 8.3k tackle and 8.4k dribble are pretty decent. They're about what you would expect out of a gacha character, but really the 9.4k intercept being as good as it is means that when you do buff it, it'll be kind of toxic. There's just a lot of good stuff going on here with this character. For a skill build, S drive pass, A team play tackle, A skylab interception if you can get it. If not, then just magnificent is fine. A magnificent footwork, or S if you have a spare S lying around, you can use that. And S overhead block. He's primarily a passer and pass cutter. He'll need the best pass cut and pass you can give him. Unfortunately, the pass cut is stuck on a 2017 Samurai version, so magnificent interception, swift reception will have to do if you can't get to it. The A dribble is just good for mix-up purposes, and the S version is fine here too if you're willing to level it. The overhead block exists almost entirely to challenge bad lock distance shots. It's really not necessary. If you want to put something else there, feel free, so long as it's not a C intercept. Don't confuse his hidden ability auto pass cut any more than it is. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out here and checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click like on the video. If you want to see more of this, click subscribe on the channel, and also go ahead and if you really want to make sure that you're kept up to date with any new things that I post, click the bell icon so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video or make a new post. Also, if you want to support the channel financially, there's a donation button below. There is also a Patreon that you can subscribe to. A lot of people are having trouble right now with their Dream Cup teams and their Dream Championship teams. A lot of people want to make sure that they have a really good team for the Dream Championship, so they are they're basically just joining the Patreon so that they can get advice. If you're interested in that kind of service, you basically, as long as you have access to Discord on any of the tiers that have access to Discord, then you'll be able to also get help with your Dream Championship team. So hit me up. The Dubai qualifiers are next Friday, and so a lot of people are giving me like they're trying to hit me up like, hey, what do you think I should do? I'm more than glad to help you, but because there's many people who are trying to ask questions about that. And also they want to kind of keep the stuff on the download. They don't want to share it on like stream or video or anything like that. If you get Patreon access, you can just hit me up, and you can just hit me up directly on a PM because you'll have my access to me via Discord, and that should be pretty much like everything you need. Obviously, I can't work miracles, so I'll try to help you as best as I can, but we'll try to do the best we can with what you have. So again, just let me know. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for checking this out. Look forward to the next video. I'm actually looking forward to more stuff, and if you haven't checked it out, please check out the TFA Fest 2 restream that I did in English. You guys might really enjoy that. It was a cool tournament that I restreamed for TFA, which is a Tsubasa tournament organization in Japan, led by Bay TV and a couple of other people. And also go check out Bay TV's channel because he's doing a lot of good reviews lately, and he's been playing a lot of PvP, and he's really psyched up because of the Dream Championship. So go check him out. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot, and I hope to see you all soon.